Hello, streaming to live. I'm Gordon with Unlock Your Bioenergy. Today is Saturday, July 4th, 2026. And I asked the question, how consistent are you? Reason being, because today I'm back at it with Sunny Saturday. And I'm going to be doing a 10-minute hit and some fitness stress testing. And let's get right to it. So, if you know me, you know I like to um, stay consistent and also to challenge myself, but also to see how I'm progressing. And this is a trait that I have practiced now for, what is it, 316 episodes. So it's not easy. It's not, for some, you might not find it very fun because it creates a lot of discomfort and so forth. But, you know, I'm not one who is shy of feeling discomfort. Sorry, I stepped away from the camera here. Because I like to chase the discomfort, and I did that yesterday, and I'm going to chase the discomfort again today. And that discomfort is trying to reach the plateau of 250 skips in 66 seconds. So it is a plateau or a record or goal that I've set for myself that I'm trying to reach. It's a difficult task, largely because I've already increased the goal numerous times now, and I'm wondering if I'm reaching the plateau now as far as what I can actually achieve with this fitness stress test. So last week I was busy on the weekend on Saturday, and I didn't have an opportunity to, or I didn't have enough time to do the fitness stress test and a 10-minute hit last week. So, but I didn't miss any workouts this past week. So I did my typical 5 days, and here I am, day number 6, doing another live stream. And but I'm back at it with doing the fitness stress testing. And I also got a haircut, so if I look younger today, that's partially one of the reasons why. But I also feel good today, considering that I put in a real aggressive effort in yesterday's Feel It Friday session. So it was definitely a good effort. And I did look at the order and compared the previous week. So I'll touch base on that after I'm done the fitness stress testing. So, without further ado, let's get on with this. So I'm gonna place the heart rate monitor, which is gonna go here, so I can see it's turned on. Waiting for it to initialize here. There we go. So you can see my heart rate. For the 10-minute hit, I'm gonna set the oh gosh, I don't want to use up too much energy. So I want to just basically create blood flow in the body and warm up. So that way I'm able to do the test quite well. So for the tempo, yesterday I did 165 for the HIIT. I'm gonna go slower today. 8, yeah, 143. I'll try 143. So this tempo, all right? $10-minute HIIT. So you'll see 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. Or you know what, I'm gonna actually increase that. I'm gonna go, instead of 165, I'm gonna do 155. A little bit quicker, all right? Just because 165 is a nice, or 165 is more aggressive. But like I said, I don't want to wear myself out. So, without further ado, let's begin. We got everything tied up here. All right, ready? All right. So with today's HIIT, I'm trying to do tricks that are kind of different, where it forces me to keep the coordination at a higher level. And that step, that foot step that I'm doing just now, is actually really kind of tricky. So for the next 30 seconds, I'm going to switch to doing double unders. You can join me if you wish. Ouch. goodness, really? Wow. All right. So there I was doing 4 single leg jumps in a row, alternating between the different feet. All right, so that, you'll see I upped the intensity by doing single leg crisscrosses. It certainly felt different. Oh, it feels good. Actually doing 2 single leg hops, alternating per in a row. go. So, I'm gonna relax, wait till my heart rate comes down. Feels very good today. Feel very relaxed. So with today's fitness stress testing, I'm going to start with using this rope here. This is the one that I've been using for the last 8 years. So this one here has a kink. You can see here, you see the kink in the rope. So this is the one I'm going to use. So that is there now behind me. So I'm gonna have a little bit more water here. Just gonna turn this metronome off for a moment. So, still 30 seconds left in the recovery. And you can see my heart rate is really dropping. Getting back down to, you know, kind of just regular heart rate. So, with the fitness stress testing, I will be increasing and of course the app here has kind of frozen. It conflicts with the the other app that I use here. All right, so the tempo for the fitness stress testing will be at 228 beats per minute, which is equivalent to, as you see written on the screen there, 3.7878 revolutions per second. So, and the idea is to get 250 skips within 66 seconds. So based at that pace. And the challenge that I have is maintaining the intensity for the duration of the time, and it has been a challenge thus far. I'm getting close. I'm in the I have to look back to see where I'm at actually. So I'll do that. And meanwhile, I'll also look at the barometric pressure today. Currently, okay. So, this is the log that I have here on screen. So you'll see here that in the last few weeks here, where I started doing, so May 30th is when I started doing this particular test at 66 seconds. So I got, what percentage here? First time 54 out of 62.5, so that's equating to 87. So I'm just under the 97 or the 90 percentile completion area or rate for this test. So I'm close right off the bat. So it's a matter of finding the mental strength and also managing the pain associated with, or the discomfort with the test, because that is the tough part. So the rope is adding a component of stress, and that is what's most difficult part of this fitness stress test. So it's basically testing where my, I guess, anabolic rate is in comparison to the VO2. So today's barometric pressure you see here is 1009.45, and temperature outside is 23 degrees Celsius. Down here, I'm just going to test it here, measure it, what it is. So using this is 18.6 degrees Celsius, which is 65.4 degrees Fahrenheit. So it is a little bit cooler in my basement as opposed to outside. I'm just going to measure the floor. Probably closer to the ambient air temperature. Okay. So measuring the floor, we're at 63 and 17.3 degrees Celsius. So it is cool down here, considering it's summertime now in Alberta. And you can see my heart rate has really returned back to normal, down into the 70s. So, are you ready to do? Let's get this test going. So, you can hear the tempo, 228. That's a brisk, very brisk pace. It's very fast. I'm just looking to see where this kink is when it's underneath me. With this, when I hold the handles, if I alternate, that kink moves because it's not directly in the center. So I think I'm going to try this way. So. So I'm gonna begin skipping, and then I start counting on 0, 0, 0, 1, 2, 3. So, and that's where I'll need to count to 62 and a half. So I need technically 63. Well, if I count to 63, then I'm done. And my, how would you say, approach is to be as relaxed as I possibly can, especially when spinning the rope, because the forearms is what, and the arms are what give out first. That's the hardest part, to maintain the tempo with the arms, as this rope is heavier than the beaded one that I just used. So, alright, so, here we go. I got to 9. Felt good. Actually, it was just, I was just focusing on the tempo. And, for me, the biggest thing is to make sure that I'm just relaxed. I'm going to try to place this rope here on this side. I'm going to switch it just to see. I don't know. So 9 times 4, that was 36 jumps. Okay. 0. I don't know what's going on. I'm just trying to find the right way to hold this rope. There we go. Wow. I don't know how many 4-second or 4-beat sequences I got. I wasn't counting. I was just focusing on the tempo and just trying to stay as comfortable as I could. And one of the things that I found I started doing was changing the angle of how I was holding the handles. And when I started, they were more, the handles were kind of parallel like this with that of my body. And as the discomfort started to increase, I started rotating them this way. And with that, it changes how the length of the rope is. So for your timing and such. So it's just something that I did almost automatically because of the discomfort that my arms are starting to feel, especially here in the forearms. And because of the amount of how would you say, the range of movement that you're moving the rope or the handle, especially at that pace, it's very small. It's a small amount, and the the forearms, they can only take so much of that that range of movement, especially with the activation that's happening. So hence why I started pointing my thumbs more forward, and then I start getting the bicep involved. And with that, it introduces more slop, if you want to call it that, because now the biceps, they're farther away from the rotating point of the rope and that of the handle, and because of that, you know, the bicep can only it becomes involved, but it's one of those things where you have to change the I guess the position of the rope. It's hard to explain. So when my hands are farther out like this, the rope is shorter, and when I move them in, the rope becomes longer. And with that, you have to kind of figure out where to place your elbows to compensate for that difference in the rope length, because it does affect your timing, especially with the feet. So, and hence why I trip, because I'm trying to adjust on the fly to keep this tempo going. And that's the challenging part associated with this test, is managing that discomfort and the changes that you experience. And they're very hard to overcome, especially these compensating things, and it really reveals itself during this test. So the next rope I'm going to use is this one here. This is I've been doing this for a while here, where I take, you know, this rope. So this is another beaded rope that I have, and I'm going to give it a shot. And I've adjusted the length of this one here a little bit. So let's see how this goes. So 228 with this rope. And this one here is pretty close to the weight of the black one, the first rope that I just used. So just gonna do a couple skips here. Oh yeah, okay. That's good. It's very similar in length. I adjusted it last week, so I'm gonna see how this goes. All right. Wow. It feels different. One thing I wanted to do, or I was doing, was not slapping the rope so much onto the floor. And by doing that, it actually takes out a little bit of the flex, if you want to call it. Because when the rope hits the ground, it bends here a little bit on both sides. So by not hitting the ground too hard, because I can control that. You see, that's hitting the ground hard. So it just depends on where I hold the handles here, and I'm going to play around with that maybe experiment a little bit throughout the week. Try with this rope. And last but not least, I'm going to attempt to do as many as I can with this rope. And this one here, I would just say very this one I use a lot every single week, so the goal is to see if I can actually achieve 250 skips in 66 seconds with this rope. So the idea as well, now that I'm thinking about it, is to hold, normally I hold the handles on the very end like this when I'm doing just regular training, skipping, but for this test I'm going to hold it a little closer to the inward part of the handle, again to remove that the slop or that bend that happens here on the side. So let's see how it goes. Oh my. I could feel the bottom of the rope just skimming the bottom of my shoe. So it was, if you listen closely, you could probably hear that happen. It's ever so slightly, but it happened several times during this last attempt, and it distracts me because I think, oh, there's almost a trip, so then I'm trying to compensate at the same time with just my coordination, and that's where this test really targets, is that coordination piece. So it's definitely hard to manage. Just balancing the beads here. I might try one more time with this rope. So yeah, I think I'm going to try, just because of this piece here. See what that does. One more cup of water here. All right, so let's try one more time with this rope. it's a hard test. Very hard. So just gonna wait till my heart rate calms down here. So looking back at the log, so all right, so let's have a look at the today's date stamp. It is July 4th, 2026, and happy July 4th to all my American followers. So time to see there, starting time 12:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So, it's interesting seeing how here, big drop, and then up, and then it's sawtoothing the rest of the way. But then you see here, you know, big, you know, lots of steep increases in heart rate. So it goes to show that each time it recovers quite well. There, right? So it's good for me to see this because it's a reflection of how good my recovery is from a cardiovascular standpoint. So volume of oxygen delivered, VO2, it's quite high. So here's the, I just took out the X49. It was sitting underneath the wristbands. And if you haven't noticed already, I am wearing the X39. And so it brings me back to my topic about being, how consistent are you? And this is what I had written here. So, you know, when it comes to being consistent with your methods, then you're going to reap some benefits. And whichever those benefits are, or whichever ones you want them to be, will be reflective of what you choose. So I myself like to be consistent with fitness. That way I can manage and keep my my health in check, my body fat levels as well, because I do like to eat. Now when I say eat, I'm not talking about junk food. No, I have a lot of willpower when it comes to junk food. I do like some sweets, homemade sweets and stuff like that. So, you know, we all have our kind of, you say, choices that are, you know, you're gonna eat it whether you have willpower or not. So, and you know, some of us have stronger sweet tooths than others, and which is okay. It's normal. So, but with that, you also want to make sure you're limiting those sweet choices, because when it comes to training, you know, you can be very consistent with the 1 hour or however much time you spend with fitness, and but then the other 23 hours in the day is when it becomes more difficult to manage and stay consistent with, you know, your food choices. So they will definitely influence how well your body responds, and it also affects too the way the X39 responds as well. So the three aminos that I talk about, or the three amigos, so you see the X39 is what activates the production of GHK, the tripeptide inside the body, and you need to have the fuel source for that tripeptide to form. So if you don't have it, then you will miss out on that opportunity to for that from that signal that you get from the X39 and to produce that tripeptide. So you must eat the right combination of foods to ensure that you are getting the amino acids from those foods, and for the purpose of forming that tripeptide inside the body. So that's why I say I don't care who you are. If you're not eating properly or eating the right combination, then you are limiting your body's ability to heal itself. So it's important to stay on top of that and to be consistent with that, just as consistent as you are with your daily activities, whether it's running, walking, trampoline, bouncing, skipping, like me, riding a bicycle, not an electric bike or a scooter. Get on the one with the real pedals that you propel yourself. I just, I see too many people getting on these electrical ones. I'm like, my goodness, this is wrong. This is just wrong. That's not good for the body. You need to burn. You need to act. You need the body to respond, and you got to force it to respond. And that's with activity. So, and when you combine that activity with good nutritional choices, then you're on your way to success. And then make sure that you're getting infrared light, whether it's by way of sunlight. But if you're not getting enough sunlight, you're not going to tap your body in the shoulder, so to speak, to signal it to form that tripeptide. And that's the how would you say the benefit that you get from this. It's always tapping on the shoulder. And when your body gets that signal, then it says, oh, okay, yes, I remember now. And gradually, day after day, after day, after day, you're going to experience the benefits, which you see here on the screen. So there is no coincidence that yours truly, myself, I'm experiencing those benefits. And one way of me demonstrating that to you is by being able to be consistent here 6 days a week. And to also show you how you can do it to help motivate you and help you achieve your goals. If that's to have longevity, a better fitting clothes, or a lighter, more active body, so that way you can do what you want. There's nothing better than waking up in the morning and getting out of bed and feeling recovered. And that has a lot to do with that GHK peptide, tripeptide. Now, you always have to make sure that when I talk about nutritional choices, is that you also make sure that you're consuming foods with sources of copper in it. So copper is in all kinds of different things. So I have my preferences that I like to eat and consume to make sure I'm getting that copper, and in addition to the three amigos, and I also factor that in for the other two phototherapy patches that I wear, which is the X49 and the YH Renew. So you see on the screen there. So that's this guy, that's the X49, and then the YH Renew, which is to stimulate the body to create glutathione. And so when you have all these things, so if you're getting the sunlight, if you live near the equator, you got the sunlight. Take advantage of it. But if you live up north where I do, like this time of year now, we get the sun, right? But it's not sunny every day. So that really plays an influence on how well your body gets that signal. So, and if you're working inside an office with the shades down, not getting the sunlight, well then, you're missing out. And then again, you're missing out too if you work night shift all the time. If you work nights, well then you're not going to get the sunlight. So it's important for you to stay be aware of what the body actually responds to. And there's no denying that if you don't force your body to respond, you're not going to get the reset and the regeneration of DNA genes. Now, if you don't exercise, well, then you're missing out on the 78. And if you don't get the proper amount of light, and if you don't eat the right amino acids, well, then you're missing out on this other several thousand DNA genes. And then you wonder why people are aging so fast. Well, it has a lot to do with all this stuff. It all layers up everything. So that's why people around my age are starting to go to the gym more. Whereas when you're younger, you don't do that because you think you're invincible or you don't have to do it. Well, yes, you do. You should be. I started 15 years ago, and that's why I'm at where I'm at today with how I look. So, should you be thinking about it if you're younger than I am? You should be. You should be. Now, if you think, oh, well, if you wanted to get into the X39, if it's too, it's about a coffee a day. Well, ditch the coffee. Buy the X39 and try it. Risk free. Now, you can also offset those costs by if you choose to become a brand member, and I can help you with that. So, and if you have friends that perhaps would be interested in doing something like this, or you do it together, right? And you help motivate each other to reach your goals, well then, hey, you all can kind of become brand members, and then you have families and other friends, and it kind of branches out that way. So, it is direct sales. So the opportunity is based off of multi-level marketing, and people say, oh, I don't want to get into that. Well, it's no different than working for a company that has a boss at the top, and then there's pyramid structure within a company. It's the same thing. So untwist your mind about that. Untwist it, because it all depends on how much effort you put into it, right? If you wanted to, try to find people from all around the world, there's no limit. You can work from anywhere doing multi-level marketing, anywhere. And with this here, it's available in 80 countries. So think about it from that perspective. 80 countries. So there's no limit, essentially. The only limit is how much effort you put in. So with that, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I'll be back on Monday. I'll take the day off tomorrow, and you should too. So unless you're working during the week and the weekends is your time, or you have more available time to do workouts, then do that. So follow what I do. Next week I plan on switching things up a little bit. I've been doing the vibration plate training now for a large number of weeks, so I thought, okay, it's time to switch things up. And so I'll be incorporating cards with this. This is how I like to train. So that way it really creates a lot of variety, and the workouts are different every single day. And I will be focusing on the muscle groups, so that way, they get a balanced effort. And tune in to see what it's like. So, and I'm giving this away for free. And what's not free is when you power your DNA with the best. And that is with this. And if you need to up your, how would you say, up the effectiveness of it, then consider water. You got to make sure you're drinking the cleanest and most absorbable. And for me, that's deuterium depleted water. And this month marks 5 years of me drinking it. So I don't make a single penny talking about it. And if you want to try it, you either have to buy the machine yourself and make it yourself, or you purchase the deuterium depleted water from somebody who does. And the machine itself is patented, 13 international patents. And the man behind it is just turned 96 years old. And I'll tell you, there's something about it, because he wouldn't be telling his story if it wasn't true. So, is he getting sunlight? I suspect he is as well. And he's obviously combining it with water. And I remember the first day that I put this on, I could feel it. I felt the change, and I still do. So, am I reaping the benefits from it? Well, you be the judge. I know I am, but you be the judge. And when you're ready, pull the trigger with me. Click on the links you'll find in the descriptions, or scan the QR code that you see here. It'll take you to unlockyourbioenergy.godaddysites.com, where you'll see the buttons at the bottom there, and things that I have shared, part that I've blogged about, and information that is also of value. And when you're ready, scan that QR code. It'll take you to my shop with LifeWave, and you'll see my first and last name, Gordon Tomazik, along with the logo on the screen. And try it risk-free. And lastly, Walmart and Amazon are not authorized distributors of this. They are not. So you cannot get it from them. And if you see it there, say, oh, somebody's selling it. Well, be careful, because you might be getting a counterfeit. Because the bigger a company becomes, the bigger the target they have on their backs. So, and just think about that. So, that's it for today. See you on Monday. And always remember, eat well, sleep well, and recover well. Have a good day, and back on Monday. Bye for now.